Hey everyone, welcome to another live. Today I wanted to talk about, Andrea Aver here coming to you. Today I wanted to talk about the metamorphosis between the butterfly or the caterpillar to the butterfly and that process of metamorphosis. And, that the struggle, that is that struggle that enables us to fly. So I think it's just a really beautiful analogy, and I wanted to, just start with the definition of metamorphosis, and it's the process of transformation. So it's defined as a change of form or nature of a thing or person into a completely different one by natural or supernatural means. So it applies to us as spiritual beings as well. And I love this story that's going to follow. And it goes that there was this farmer, and he leaves his house, and before he takes off into the fields, he notices this little caterpillar in its chrysalis, and it's working to come out of this cocoon. It's working really hard. So he stops, and he's watching it for about half an hour, just kind of in awe and waiting for it to come out. And then he realizes, time is passing, it's taking a bit long, so I'm going to go out and, do my work. And he went on about his day. And then when he comes back at the end of the day, he sees the cocoon, the caterpillar still going through that same process, and it looks like it's stalled. And he takes pity on it. He feels really bad. It's been hours and hours of this struggle. And this hole is so tiny, and the caterpillar or the butterfly, I don't know how you refer to it before it comes out, but it's very swollen. It's really having a hard time getting through this little hole. And so he takes pity on it, and he uses a pair of scissors, and he snipes off the remaining bits of the cocoon to kind of release the butterfly. And then the butterfly emerges out very, very easily, and but its body is like unnaturally swollen, and the wings are really, really shriveled. And the man didn't think anything of it, and he was waiting there for it to just kind of take off and fly. But that didn't happen. And the butterfly spent the rest of its life unable to fly, crawling around with these tiny wings and the swollen body. As other people tell the story, because it's kind of one of those like parable type things, they'll say that the butterfly died. So, here it is, despite this man's really kind heart, he didn't understand that the restriction of the cocoon and the struggle needed by the butterfly to get itself through the small opening was God's way of forcing the fluid from the body into the wings of the butterfly to prepare it to fly. So, that's exactly why they're able to fly, is that struggle. And I love that process, because it really tells us we cannot succeed without a struggle. So I draw two conclusions from this little brief story. And the first one is, we have to go through a struggle in order to fly. We have to overcome something. And this is something really hard for people to understand. They're not willing to go through the struggle. They're not willing to go through the discomfort or look at a hard situation that maybe they got themselves into, and just kind of really reflect on how they did that and how they can avoid it and how they can get out of it. Or, to push through a fear and to do things that we have to do in order to achieve what we'd like to achieve, whether that be success, health, financial freedom, spiritual growth, whatever it is. We have to go through this kind of like awkward, icky metamorphosis. It's very uncomfortable and very, very hard, and nobody can help us do it. Yes, there's God. Yes, there's other things. Yes, there's people who can cheer us on. But at the end of the day, it's like going through labor. No one can do that except for you. And it's really kind of an interesting analogy. And those failures and that mistakes that you're going to make along the way, and that awkwardness and, lack of finesse, that's all the process of metamorphosis. And we all need to go through it. We have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that's where the magic happens. Hey, Jay, thanks for tuning in. So this is so important. The skill follows the struggle. The skill follows the struggle. So many people don't begin because they don't have the skill. And they don't understand that the skill comes after the fact. We step out in faith, and God makes the path for us. I just love this analogy. And then, the other thing I draw from this story, and something I'm really very passionate about, is toxic charity, where we with our good hearts, we go to help people, and we ended up destroying them. We end up not really helping them at all. And, I love giving to charities like Hope International or Compassion, where these are organizations that go to people and they help them to, Hope International will help them become entrepreneurs, compassion sends the little children in Africa or whichever third world country they're from to a school so that they can get an education and take control of their lives. And I love those. And I think GoFundMe has become very interesting lately, because when it started, or maybe I'm wrong, maybe this is my perception, you know, it would be for the widow or something like this, and or you know, a child that passed away for a funeral, and people would come together and they would support the widow, and she'd have enough money that she wouldn't have to think about going back to work. And it was just like the most beautiful concept. I love it. And then I started to see more and more GoFundMes coming up, even from people in my circles, that I thought, you're avoiding the struggle. You're like you're looking for the easy way out. You know, there was a girl who wanted to be a nun, for example. So she had about $50,000 in college debt. And the convent, of course, the rule has always been that you can't enter this convent with debt. You can't enter the religious life with any debt. And so her quick solution was, I'll just do a GoFundMe and get people to pay off my college debt, and I'll go to the convent. And I thought, oh, you know, there's a really, didn't sit well with me. I thought, that's not the point. The point is, it's not that you just don't have debt, it's that you're a person who does not have debt. That you're a person that if you had debt, that you're that person that paid off the debt before you entered the convent. That's who they want. They don't want the person who, you know, just, you know, got it weighed for them by some people who, you know, think, oh, that's a really beautiful thing, I'd like to support that, you know. And I've seen one where families want their electricity bills paid because they fell behind. They're like, come on, let's we're almost there, we're $3,000 in debt, let's go. And then, you know, there's some people who support that. And then I saw the same family come up about 6 months later with another bill that they couldn't pay, that they got behind in. And they never went through that kind of ickiness to say, how did we get here? How can we get out of it? You know, we have so much as human beings, ingenuity, determination. We can get so much done. I think, I can't quote it properly right now, but Thomas Edison gives a beautiful quote. And I think he says something like, if we did half the things that we're capable of, we would wow ourselves. We would like blow ourselves out of the water. So we're all capable of so much, but we're not willing to go through that ugly metamorphosis. So that's just me today, just giving you those thoughts. If you want change in your life, if you want a better life, if you want spiritual growth, if you want to be healthier, if you want to start a successful business, all these things are possible. And God is just waiting to help us. As long as we start the work, we do the process, and we're willing to, you know, to do the work. So that's it for today. I hope that helps somebody out there. I hope you all become a butterfly.